Football, where we talk about big subjects and football. Is sort of on the move podcast. I'm on the Jersey Turnpike, and I think Nicholas is in DC. I'm right outside of New York City. So yeah, word up. What is this, podcast number 5, number 4, number 5?
Yeah, number 5 unofficially. We got 1 taken down because we're badasses, but
oh yeah, duh. Okay, so we'll do the best we can do. I'll do the best I can do while driving, and I think we're gonna go ahead and start off with a section outs, or what I like to say is, where the fuck are you, you asshole? To a couple of players, and turn it over to you. I got 2 big wide receivers in mind, and obviously a bit of a different perspective and relationship with their respective fantasy teams and the players that they own. And these are 2 of players that I own. Granted, they are on different fantasy teams, but where the fuck is Amari Cooper? And where the fuck is Odell Beckham? Besides on the sideline kicking a goddamn goalpost, hitting himself in the head. This dude might be like clinically insane. Like he might have some issues. But I'm saying, man, Beckham, Cooper, and Latavius Murray have been, and Carson Palmer as well, have been pretty big fantasy disappointments for me. What about you?
Yeah, those are all good ones. I think Odell is definitely – he was picking first overall. I have him in a league where I picked him first overall, so obviously he's a big disappointment.
Yeah, I picked him second. So
yeah, so let's see. I'm going to call out motherfucking Thomas Rawls. That guy is – I picked him third round, and he is not showing up at all. So obviously he's injured. He's still out, but he's lost the battle as starting running back. I'm dropping him.
Hey, how's the Christine Michael train going?
It's good. I have him, luckily, on both those teams where I have him. I'm starting him not this week because he's on bye, but next week.
Okay.
The person who I think you also have, brief. Like, I had high hopes for that guy, and he's just not going to come back from injury soon, so I dropped him.
Yeah, I dropped it too, unfortunately. Dez Bryant is another one, although, I guess people didn't have as high of expectations from him coming off that injury and then with the rookie quarterback, but he's injured again, shocker. So I'm hoping that we'll get some – I'm pretty sure, I think it's early in the season, that we will get production from Amari Cooper and Odell. I think it'll happen. I think this week is actually weeks for both of those guys. I'm not sure if Carson Palmer is going to come back and perform. And he's had like good game. I mean, the Cardinals are obviously just a big surprise in general, how poor their poor start of a season they're having as well. But Moncrief was a big disappointment. I mean, my wide receivers were literally Dez Bryant and Jordan Matthews, which I think he's going to have a good season. He's already been a little bit of a surprise in the first half with Wentz starting. But Jordan was on a bye last week. Moncrief is out, and Dez Bryant went off with injury. So I was fucked.
Yeah, it's not fun to look around. It's what, week 4? What was that? Yeah, week 4 is on us, and half my team is on the IR. And I feel like that's an experience that most fantasy players, I envy the ones that have no injuries so far. God.
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the game. It's part of football, part of fantasy. I mean, it's just you got to roll with it. And glad to get Le'Veon back. I had him last year, and he got injured, obviously. And getting him back is just like, I just feel so good about that team. I mean, Derek Carr is my starting quarterback, who you just picked up in the waiver wire, by the way.
Yeah.
Little sneaky son of a bitch. I tried.
That.
I couldn't believe he was there.
I don't know how you let him go, and I was like, I need a starting quarterback because Drew Brees is on bye. Hey, here's one of the best guys with the best matchup this week. Great.
I didn't let him go. I don't have him in that league. I have him in my other league. I have David Carr, Odell Beckham, Amari Cooper, Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon. I think I might have just already said that. And I also have Terrell Pryor, and I'm starting Terrence West in the flex. Who do you like better this week in the flex? Terrell Pryor against the Patriots or Terrence West against the Redskins?
Oh, that's good. Give me Terrence West because the Redskins defense can't stop anyone against the run.
Oh, my God. It's so bad, isn't it?
I mean, I hate betting on the Ravens because they are the only team that plays uglier football than us, and I fully expect us to win. But that game looks like it's just going to be running defense, and unfortunately, we don't have a good run defense.
Well, I actually think it's going to be somewhat of a high-scoring game. I like the fact that our defense is somewhat resilient, meaning they fucking find a way to win by making people fumble or getting a pick. You know, Josh Norman with a pick. I mean, they're terrible. Like, I don't understand why people aren't talking about when is enough enough? When do you finally say,
well, here's
okay,
the thing,
our offense is good. Let's go spend a third-round draft pick or a second-round draft pick.
You know why? It's
big fatty in the middle.
Well, you know why? It's because it's too early to tell if like, is this the season? Like, is this the year where you go all in? And I'm thinking that, you know, upper management doesn't really know. They're still on a 1-year contract with Kirk, so they really haven't been willing to go all in yet. And why risk a third-round pick if you finish 3-13, right?
True, but I mean, we're not going to finish 3-13. I mean, we'll probably go 8-8 if we don't bring anybody in. But I mean, if you bring somebody in, a big fatty, to, you know, we just signed Dante Whitner and like Josh Evans or something, 2 safeties. Bruton, who is horrible, goes on IR.
You're welcome.
God, Dookie Inacho comes in. Yeah, thanks, Dever. To safety, which I'm really excited about, although he missed some tackles last week, but he hasn't been playing for a month and a half this whole season. So I expect him to come in and do good things. Snapchat is pretty entertaining. But I mean, if you get in a big fatty and then all of a sudden we're, you know, stopping a little bit of the run and we can stop people on third downs, you know, we can win games. I mean, you're 100% right. Like, it's not the year to go all in. We do have a couple more years of growth via the draft, and, you know, because our roster was so depleted when Scott McCloughan got here. I mean, we were talent starved, and we still are, especially on the D line, and that's the one we've kind of left out to dry, passing on Leonard Williams and taking Brandon Scherf, not picking a D lineman in the first round this year, and getting Josh Doxson, which has been another storyline and somewhat of a disappointment, not seeing our first round draft pick out there. But I think you're right. It's early in the season, and we need to win a couple more games. A win at the Ravens would be huge, where 2 average teams are going at it. But the Ravens, I think, with a little bit of upper hand, being at home and the edge in coaching. And I think they're just going to fucking run the ball, and they're going to score points. Hopefully the Redskins can force a couple of turnovers. But I think Kirk's going to be behind early, which is going to force him to throw a lot. And we'll see what happens.
I'm definitely excited. Well, you think it's still going to be high scoring? Here's an interesting stat. The Ravens have the number 1 overall defense in terms of like yards allowed.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, granted they've played like the Browns, the Jaguars, and like I don't know who else, but not anyone good.
The Raiders, who scored like 31 points on them or something, 29 points. whatever. Like, I don't really think that yards allowed. I mean, their secondary fucking sucks. Like that, their right corner, like they're not gonna have enough people to guard our receivers.
Agreed.
And I don't really know. I think Doomerville might be coming back, but I haven't seen much of a pass rush. What I've seen is Mosley having like 3 interceptions. CJ Mosley, who's playing like he's a fucking freak.
Did you see his one-handed pick
from Mosley?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and him and Eric Weddle are playing really well. But Ladarius Webb is, and they have a corner. I think it's their right corner, dude. He is Crabtree scored 3 touchdowns on him. He's fucking trash. Like, he's awful.
Dude, I love Michael Crabtree. I have him in a couple leagues, so that was really fun to watch.
His hands look really big.
Yeah, he's always looked good. Yo, I got a fantasy question for you. So I think we answered yours with like Terrence West. We got a little preview of the Redskins matchup, which we definitely want to talk about still. So you're gonna go with
West? Is this a DraftKings question?
No. This is like I have to win my league question.
Okay. Go ahead.
So Dontrell Inman or Tajay Sharp?
Dontrell Inman all the way. I think Philip Rivers has found his, 2 new. I picked up Dontrell Inman and that new tight end Hunter something.
Yeah, Henry Hunter.
I'm big on both of them. I mean, the tight end is young and a little bit lanky, but he's got the body to be good. He's got a little edge in speed, and I think Philip is looking towards. I think he looked towards Inman like 14 times. Like the other guy that everybody picked up right away thought was going to be the number 1. I don't think really looked like that. So,
all right,
hold on, or you can keep talking. I got to check my directions real quick.
Sure. All right.
Never mind. No, I'm good. I'm just going north towards George Washington Bridge. We're good.
Don't go on Thomas Jefferson Bridge.
Or George.
Bell, you've gone too far.
Yeah. Okay. Is it the Taco Bell with the Pizza Hut on it?
Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. All right. One last.
I'm at the Pizza Hut. I'm at the Taco Bell. I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
I'm so glad you know that song.
I love that song.
All right. So I'm looking at starting.
Question?
Yeah, I have one more question. I need to win this week. I'm 1-3 in my league I care about with some friends. So Jay Ajayi or Matt Asiata or Fozzie Whitaker?
Well, that's tough. That's a tough question because the backfields. I think that jury is not really out on what the fuck's going on in Miami with Jay Ajayi. What did he do last week? I know he scored the game-winning touchdown one week. I don't know if that was 2 weeks ago or last week.
That was
when they got
3.
When they got their first win. What did he do last week, and who are they playing?
He's playing Tennessee, and people think he's not a viable option, even though he's projected 8 points. I think Arian Foster might be coming back.
Yeah, I'm not big on that. What were Fozzie Whitaker's? Who's Carolina playing?
Tampa Bay, and they actually have a pretty good run defense, but Fozzie's a good receiving back.
And I think McCoy is out.
Huh?
Gerald McCoy, the big DT.
Oh, he might be. You're right. But this is not a PPR league, though.
Their option.
And then there's Matt Asiata, who I'm currently starting.
I think I'd tend to agree with you and go that way. Although Jerick McKinnon did have a good game, didn't he, last week?
Yeah, he had like 80 or 70 yards and a touchdown, but Matt Asiata still got the majority of the goal line carries and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I like Asiata out of all of those. I mean, I could be wrong. Fonzie could get some production, but I definitely don't like JJ.
Me too. I agreed. Cool. Thanks for that. I just needed to get those last little roster lineups settled. Anything else on your end in terms of fantasy?
Or Terrence West. I'm all in on Terrence West. I think he's gonna have a fucking huge game season. He should be in every FanDuel lineup there is.
Yes. Oh, fuck FanDuel, DraftKings.
Whatever. I DraftKings. It's all the same to me.
No, I'm joking. Yeah. Cool, dude. It's definitely crazy that I've like scored the most points, but have the least amount of wins in one of my leagues.
In our league, right?
Yeah.
So you and I have scored by far the most points. You've scored like 20 more points than me, but you and I have scored the most. 2-2, I think, and you are 1-3.
I got my first win last week. Yeah. But this is a straight shot to the playoffs. I'm gonna win 10 straight.
Oh God, fuck! Do I go? Oh fuck! Jesus Christ!
Andrew, do you need to ask Siri for directions?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Dude, I'm excited. I was so excited just to get into a topic real quick, but like, so the Broncos played the Bucks last week. Pepper Simeon had a good week, but he got injured, so Paxton Lynch had to come on. That was cool to see.
Yeah, dude. Heard he played well.
Yeah, he scored like he led 4 scoring drives, and the Bucks never scored after halftime.
You know, it's just, I think it's very positive for you guys, and I think it's just a show what good management can do to a football game, good upper management. I mean, you got a good guy that knows how to win, John Elway, and you know, that's all I can hope for as a Redskins fan is that Scott McCloughan's gonna, you know, can be like that. I mean, of winning in the NFL depends on defenses, specifically getting a couple of shutdown corners and a really good defensive line, like with Von Miller and some big fatties. And then, you know, a good quarterback that can, you know, that can manage the game and make a couple of plays. And you know, I really think on that they're the best team in the league. Still, I don't think their defense has really lost a beat, which is surprising. And they've got to be the Super Bowl favorite right now.
Definitely, even with you know, Trevor Simeon's little injury, but it's exciting to see. And you bring up a good point and a good conversation that we've been meaning to have for a while. It's like, what if we were a GM? And I think I'm speaking for you as well, but that's like my dream job if I could be an NFL GM. Like,
I know. Did you watch the Arizona Cardinals Amazon
Keeping Up with the
series?
Cardinals or something like that?
What?
Yeah, I watched one episode of that show. I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
Oh my God, that's like the best show ever. You will instantly want to propose to David Johnson like I did in my fantasy football league. But
are you still waiting for a response?
Dude, his girlfriend's hot, and he's just a lucky dude. But anyway, that guy, the Arizona Cardinals GM, was just a fucking man. I mean, he was just like sort of a big fatty and like not really a good looking guy, but he just fucking crushing it, making like $7 million a year to like hang out with football players and fucking chill with Bruce Arians and make sure he's doing his job. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, sign me up.
First of all, like, where the fuck? Oh, as the CEO. Yeah, whatever. Okay. But I mean, what the fuck does this guy even know about football? Like, some of these guys, like fucking Tressman for the Ravens.
All right, so
coordinator, like he was like a mathematician or like an economics professor. Like he like wasn't even like a football guy. He's just really smart and figured it out.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is studying. Right, you study the game, you break down film, you study your advantages and weaknesses, and then you come up with a game plan. But similarly to how coaches game plan for games, I think the best GMs have strategy when they build the team. So, like, a lot of people are going to look at the Broncos and what John Elway did over the last 4 years as a model of how to build teams. And I think it's really fair because it wasn't about a 1-year fix. It was about looking 4 or 5 years and then iterating on what you have, right? Like at first he built a huge offense that scored a lot of points. But guess what? That is not how you win in the NFL anymore. You win
It's
by
not.
having
Well,
yeah,
it arguably never has been. People just are so enamored with all these like personal fouls and protecting of the quarterback and like all that crap and saying, oh, it's a pass driven league. And they get all happy with, Tom Brady's teams and Aaron Rodgers' teams and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Tom Brady lost, in the Super Bowl to the Giants pass rush, twice.
Yeah.
Even with historically the greatest offense of all time.
Think about,
and the 85 Bears and the fucking Steelers, like every great team, you look at the Redskins franchise, their offense was pretty good, but their fucking defense was no joke. Like that's how you won games. It was so physical.
and it's because you can't put too much pressure on your offense. Like if you are all rely on your offense like the Saints today, then it's just not sustainable. You're going to have, if you have one bad down or one bad series, you're going to lose the game. Whereas with the other approach, all you do is to minimize the number of good series the other team has. So, like, you just have more good series than them and you win the game.
Well, also, it's like about how physical you are. I mean, and I saw a change when the Redskins were playing the Giants. I mean, the Giants were going down and scoring at will, and then Chris Baker and absolutely crushed Eli Manning. And after that, he was inaccurate and missed a lot of throws. He should have thrown 5 picks, but in the hands. But I mean, they're just physical. They knock people off their mechanical inclinations as far as rhythm and timing and stuff like that. And that really is everything in today's NFL and the West Coast offense and all that shit. Quarterbacks get way too much credit, in my opinion, because they're dinking and dunking so much and just giving other more talented players a chance to make a play. And just to segue a little bit, or to piggyback off of what you're saying about John Elway, like say that what was so great about him is that he learned from his mistake. Because I think that he thought, hey, let's go get Peyton Manning and let's build this fucking offensive empire. And then it failed miserably against the Seahawks defense. And then he was like, you know what? I was wrong. I got to go get a defense.
That's exactly where I was going to go with that point, where in the sense that, everyone thinks it's a pass heavy, win all the time, score a lot of points, you're going to win the Super Bowl. But like you said, defense wins championships, and specifically, modern NFL defenses all have a lot of things in common. They have a pass rush that is just absolutely relentless. And they have at least two lockdown corners that can play press coverage and beat put on islands. And then they have
look at the last Super Bowl teams. You have Aqib Talib, you have Chris Harris, you have Sherman, you have
Malcolm Butler is a lockdown corner now.
Well, Malcolm and Revis. I mean, every one of these Super Bowl caliber teams, Arizona got pretty far. Patrick Peterson.
And think about the Patriots team with Ty Law and crap. They all had really good cornerbacks on those Super Bowl teams.
And I would argue that cornerback, I think, is probably the hardest position other than quarterback to play in this league, to shut down these fucking freakish. Look at the performance of AJ Green last week, or Julio motherfucking Jones. Holy crap. These guys just went off, and they can go off at any time. And for somebody to, they know where they're running. And for a DB to stay with someone where you don't know where they're going to go and they're that physically gifted, it's just impressive. And so I think that's the rarest form of gold other than quarterback that you can find, in the sea of, the pool of players. And I think GM and CEO would be awesome, but I also think talent evaluators and whatever you
Scouts.
call them, and scouts. Yeah, I would love to be a football scout. I think that would be so awesome.
Dude, that would be so cool. And just to travel and like really just see the people develop. That's how Scott McLuhan and a lot of GMs that, like you said, people that don't come out of nowhere, they get their start as a GM doing talent evaluation.
Absolutely.
And that's where the best franchises always outmatch the other ones, right? Like at the end of the day, every single player on the Patriots roster is better than a lot of the players on like the Browns or the San Francisco 49ers.
You're right. Well, at the end of the day, I think what you're saying is, as brilliant of a coach as Bill Belichick is, it's the players that ultimately have to do the work and perform on the field. You can game plan all you want against whoever, any opponent. But at the end of the day, if your players don't follow through, like I listened to a Cooley film breakdown on ESPN 980, ESPN radio, local in DC, and he breaks down he breaks down the defensive players, he breaks down the offensive players, he breaks down certain plays and stuff like that. And he's like, it's not like we're scheming up a Tampa 2 on a 3rd and 11, a 3rd and 13, and everybody, it was a perfectly schemed defense, but you have a cornerback that's staying down in that zone, a trap corner, doesn't play his trap and goes with Odell, and then they throw a fucking check down and run for 14 yards and get a first down on 3rd. I mean, it's you got to have the players, you got to have talent.
I agree, and like that's why I kind of like a GM, because you gotta have trust. Like you can put the pieces in play, right? Like you're the chess master, but at the end of the day, like you said, it's all about execution.
100%. What else do we have to talk about?
I mean, there's anything new going on with you? I mean, why are you in New York going fishing?
I am going to my 2nd annual Fall Classic, going up to Rhode Island, Narragansett, and we are camping out and fishing. And drinking. It's just a big excuse to drink. And we go out in Newport on Saturday night. We have a big lobster bake tomorrow. Tonight we're cooking a bunch of steaks. I'm not going to get there till later, which kind of sucks. Stop in New Haven, Connecticut on the way back to see my buddy who goes to PA school at Yale. And it's going to be a jam-packed weekend. I've had a lot going on lately. 3 weekends in a row. I had my birthday and the race, and then last weekend I went whitewater rafting in West Virginia on the Upper Gully, which was insane. And then and this weekend I'm fucking 7 hours away. So I'm looking forward to this weekend, but I'm back and, chilling out, getting back in my routine.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a lot of stuff, a lot of adventure in the last
What about you, man? What are you up to?
Dude, it's definitely. I was about to go to Nashville tomorrow, but ultimately didn't get a hotel reasonably priced, so we're deciding to do that probably in November. But I have some family in town this weekend. I'm definitely gonna watch the games, and catch up on some work I've been meaning to do, some personal projects.
Good stuff. That sounds good. I'm gonna need one of those weekends coming up here soon. All right. Well, I should probably figure out where the fuck I'm going. But unless you have some other topics to talk about, we can talk a little bit more fantasy.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say we can do a little preview for the week to come. Talk about any of the stories that we're talking about. But
okay, can you bring up some of the games, and we could pick some games?
Yeah. So first,
all right, let's just go. Let's do a quick run. Do a quick run through the games. You'll do your pick. I'll do my pick, and then we'll each game for a second, and then go through them.
Sounds good. All right, I'm pulling them up. First one, Atlanta, Denver.
I like Denver, but I really want to ask you what you think of Atlanta.
Yeah, this is going to be the biggest test maybe we face offensively all year. I think they match up pretty scarily against us. What the one thing I have hope is that Atlanta does not have a pass rush, so like that's like our biggest weakness on offense, and B, their offensive line I think is overhyped and has played pretty much beyond their ability so far, and I think we can really take advantage and get some pressure and shut down that passing offense.
Right. I mean, Atlanta, I think, has improved since last season. They were 5-0 and all this crap, and they were hyped last season, which goes to show you much from the beginning, the first 5 games of the season anyway. You can tell some things. I think you can tell some teams are good, but at the end of the day, their defense is not that good. I think Denver will really try and control the clock running the ball and make some plays in the passing game. Although Atlanta's secondary is pretty decent. But I picked Denver. I think Atlanta's better, but I don't.
What?
They actually
What?
could go to the playoffs.
Are you telling me you said you think Atlanta's better?
They are than they were last year. I think they've improved defensively, and Shanahan's doing some really cool shit offensively with those 2 backs. Getting them both involved, I think, is a really big pain in the ass for defenses. Tevin Coleman is pretty explosive. Devontae Freeman's fucking good. I don't care what anybody says.
No, he's not.
He's a baller.
Last note about that game, Paxton Lynch might be making his first career start. So definitely going to be a lot of storylines.
It's exciting. It's almost exciting as the fact that I'm getting ready to run out of gas right out in the Bronx.
Dude, always ideal. There's always so many gas stations in the city.
Jesus Christ.
All right, next game.
Go on.
Or anything else?
For Denver, next game.
On record for Denver, both of us. Okay. Arizona, San Francisco, no-brainer, Arizona.
Well, isn't Drew Stanton starting?
It is Drew Stanton starting, and it's Thursday night. Oh, no. That's definitely a weird 49er win. That has Chip Kelly all over it. I'm reversing it, I think. Never mind. I don't know. Arizona.
I'm going Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah. I'm going Arizona because I hate Chip Kelly, and I think he's definitely going to go back to the college ranks next year.
Back to Oregon.
Why wouldn't you go to the college ranks? You get paid more, and it's less stress, and it's easy.
Yeah, and you are better than everyone else.
What? I don't get it.
All right, next game. There's nothing really interesting in that. Redskins, Ravens. This is always the battle of the Beltway, and I think it's close. I think we pulled out 23-19.
Wait, what? Say that again.
Redskins, Ravens. I think it's a close one, but we win 23-19.
Win 20-19. Okay,
23.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Ravens on this one. They win 27-25, and the running game. We just don't. They don't make as many errors as us, and they get the pretty close win. But it's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be fun to watch.
All right, New England, Cleveland. Obviously Tom Brady's back. He wins that game.
New England, Cleveland. I'm gonna pick the Patriots.
I think it might be if you did in survival football, or you have to do weekly pick'em. Definitely, probably the highest percentage are people who are gonna pick New England Patriots.
Big interesting thing. Tom Brady's coming back. He's gonna rape the fucking league. And Connor, I'm playing Connor this week, and he's playing. He's playing Tom Brady as a starting quarterback, which is gonna suck for me.
Wait, that's to remind me on something. I'm starting Carson Wentz over Tom Brady this week in the league where I have him.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Okay. Next game, Philadelphia, Detroit. I like Philadelphia. Detroit sucks at defense.
You like Philadelphia. Detroit sucks at defense. I like Philadelphia too. It's not very interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be Philly get up early. Matt Stafford throw from behind for like 300 yards and 4 picks.
Yeah, that would be good fantasy play.
All right, Chicago, Indy, Hoyer gets the start.
Chicago, Indy.
Yeah.
Man, that's kind of a tough one.
Ugly.
For some, yeah, man, the Colts are fucking bad. Andrew Luck is bad. I'm gonna go with
questionable.
I'm gonna go with the well, he's always questionable and he always plays. So, I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Yeah, they've looked pretty good. And here's an interesting stat I heard: Brian Hoyer last 2 games Brian Hoyer has now gone back-to-back games without throwing a pick. The last time the Bears did that under Jay Cutler, you have to go back 30 games.
Wow.
So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen to Jay Cutler, but game they should win.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough. Some interesting fantasy plays there. I picked up Eddie Royal. Kevin White's might be out for the season, broken fibula. Yeah, so I think that's a great fantasy play. The other one I picked up was Robert Woods from Buffalo. Sammy Watkins on IR.
Higher on Royal than I am on Woods. Obviously, Woods is the number 1 with Watkins out, but I'm lower on that Bills passing offense in general.
Yeah, no, I'm higher on Royal too. He's pretty much the only one. I mean, well, everybody that's another where the fuck have you been is Alshon Jeffrey. I don't think he scored a touchdown.
I think he's played pretty well.
Has he? I don't think
he's got 2 big games and 2 quiet games.
Big games like 10 points?
Yeah.
Dude, if this fucking exit doesn't have a gas station, I'm going to die.
Andrew, I'm coming. I'm going to be there in 7 hours.
Oh my God, that road is closed that I'm trying to turn down. That's not good. I need some gas.
Good are you multitasking? Tennessee, Miami.
Fuck Miami, dude. I'm gonna pick Tennessee.
That's the game that you could not pay me to watch. Tennessee, Miami is a terrible game.
It is a terrible game, and I hate it, and I don't want to pick it. And these people are fucking cunt drivers. They drive like cunts. Goddamn cunts. No, it's really not. Cunt is like the best word ever. I don't know people. A strong, gross word is pussy. That just sounds gross. Ugh. Cunt is very blunt. Get it?
That's just because they rhyme.
Yeah, that's cool. Hopefully they have gas at Applebee's.
They got everything at Applebee's.
All right, keep going. I'm going to take I'm going to take Tennessee. Fuck it.
All right.
NFL.com is the worst fantasy website ever, by the way, because it's projecting DeMarco Murray to have some reason. Dolphins have a terrible rushing defense. It's projecting Devontae Freeman to have like 12 points against the Broncos. I just don't get it.
That's so dumb. Reverse those numbers.
Non-PPR format. I know. I don't understand. I really don't get it.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Mark my words. Amari Cooper and Odell Beckham both blow up this week.
Of course, that's where we call them out. That's what we do. We call them out, and they better show up. All right. So moving on, I'm gonna pick the Dolphins. Next game. This is an interesting one. Minnesota and Houston. Which team can sack the quarterback more?
Well, Houston has. I love Minnesota in this game. Obviously, I think Minnesota's defense might score 30 points, and I think that which wouldn't be the first time this season. And I think JJ Watt's out, and I think Brock has his. Besides the New England win, and Minnesota wins handedly.
Yeah, this looks like a game where Brock has a terrible time all over. This is like probably a 4-pick game. Hopefully, that means they're playing from behind and throwing lots of DeAndre Hopkins,
who has been another fantasy
call out. Yeah, definitely. What's that guy doing?
All right, let's finish up here. I'm getting a little scared about this gas situation.
I'm gonna pick the Vikings as well. Jets, Steelers. I'll pick the Steelers because the Jets are terrible and Ryan Fitzpatrick is a bust.
Oh my God, they are terrible, dude. Fuck off. These guys suck dick ass. Okay, so
Jets, Steelers.
Steelers all the way.
Yeah, Le'Veon's gonna have hopefully a big game receiving.
Oh, totally.
Cincy, Dallas.
Cincy gives Dallas their first loss in a long time. Fucking thank God.
I'm going with the upstart Young Guns, Dallas, dude. I think this is one of the most interesting games this week. I think these are both playoff. Nope, actually, I'm on record saying the Bengals are not a playoff team, so I'm gonna stick with that. But I think the Cowboys win here.
I think the Bengals are for real. I think they're a good team. And people realize they're gonna shut that run defense down. Put it on the shoulders of Dak. Dak stays cool, but doesn't make enough plays. AJ Green takes Morris Claiborne to the fucking house.
All right, moving on. Bills, Rams.
Hold on 1 second. Excuse me, sir. Where's the nearest gas station?
Gas station, go out, make a right. You can make a left. The underpath. There's 2 gas stations.
Wait, like get back on 95?
Yeah, you're gonna go. They're gonna see underpath. 2 sides have gas stations.
All right,
just make a right and then a left.
Thanks.
Right?
I have no idea what he means by that.
So you're gonna take a right and then a left. You're gonna see a man in a yellow poncho. That guy is Juan. You go up to him. He will take you where you need to go.
Oh man, we'll see about that.
Bills, Rams.
Where are we at with the game?
I'm saying Bills or Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, that's a gross one. The Bills have been on a hot streak though. I'm picking the Bills.
You know what? I'm gonna change that up. Oh fuck, I can't go that way. Jesus Christ, there's a fucking road closed. Like, this is bad. I'm stuck. I'm gonna change that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go. Those are kind of LA's won 2 in a row, and I don't think they're good. Offensively, I think they're going to do nothing against the Bills. I'm doing that pretty well because I don't think his brother can do shit. But yeah, I'm gonna go Bills.
All right, now probably one of the highest scoring matchups of the week. Chargers, Raiders. I like the Raiders to steal a late one. Obviously, the Chargers collapse all the time, and the Raiders are clutch.
This is the biggest fantasy matchup I think there is. I think that I want to say Raiders, but I'm gonna somehow go with. Oh my God, I'm gonna go with. Fuck it, no, I'm sticking with my guns. I'm gonna go Raiders.
Like it, yeah. Derek Carr has a huge game. Hopefully, Cooper shows up on the scoreboard. Play everyone in that matchup. All right. Giants, Packers, and what is going to be one of maybe the early previews of the NFC playoff matchup. I'm picking. Hey, don't laugh at that. I'm picking the Giants here because I think they have a bounce back week. Obviously, the Packers are kind of fresh coming off a bye. Aaron Rodgers is going to do some things, but I think the Giants need a win, and they're going to win.
Packers win a shootout. The Giants lose, 3 or 4 in a row now? What the fuck is going on? I can't go anywhere.
Sorry to laugh, but what are you just in a closed road?
Yeah, there's a closed road. I'm literally just doing fucking laps around a goddamn parking lot of a mall. It's the worst day.
Did you take a right and go under the underpass and take a left like the guy told you to?
I can't get to an underpass.
Did you go past the Wawa?
Jesus Christ. I'm going to kill myself.
All right, last game, and then you can go ahead and get lost. Not literally, but figuratively. Tampa Bay and Carolina.
Carolina bounces back, beats Tampa Bay.
I kind of really want to pick the Bucks here, but there's no reason to. Yeah, Carolina wins this game. God, I hate some of these matchups. These are not a lot of fun to pick. A lot of good teams on buys.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I gotta go, but good podcast.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Have a great weekend and definitely safe travels.
Hey, awesome.
All right, later.
What the fuck?
Are you still lost?
Dude, fucking